Good morning. We can start a new subject in our second semester, that is public economics. Totally, we have 5 modules. I welcome all of you to our first chapter. Our module 1 is first chapter is the preference revelation problem and aggregation of preference. The preference revelation problem and aggregation of preference, that is choice theory. We know we have to see so many products, but we are in confusion which item will select. So there are different preference theory or choice theory we have to study in this chapter. The preference revelation problem is the problem of government has in determining the preference of individual's choice. A government should find out the choice of individual. The preferences are usually discovered either by survey or by revealed preference. Market obtain revealed preference information more easily and relatively less costly. From the market, the sellers can identify our choice because we are paying cash depending upon our choice. But government is very difficult to find out the choice of the society because government providing most cases they are providing free goods. So market obtain revealed preference information more easily and relatively less costly. Information derived from revealed preference is ideal and it is less subject to bias than other sources. Preference revelation is an area of study concerned with ascertaining. Preference revelation is an area of study concerning with our choice and preference. The public's demand for public goods. In a democratic country, government tries to maximize social welfare. The government takes into account public preference for public goods and makes provision of their supply by allocating productive resources for their production. This enables proper and rational allocation and utilization of productive resources, whereby social welfare maximized can materialize through consumption of public goods produced. This is analyzed by theories in public economics. We have already studied in the 5th and 6th semester of your BA course about public finance. That was the study of the government regarding public goods, public expenditure, public revenue. So most of the countries government are giving free goods, public goods without demanding cash from the society. So in this chapter we are trying to analyze theories in public economics. They are known as theories of public choice. These theories show problems in revealing public choice and also difficulties in aggregating public choices revealed by the people. Theories of public choice are Wicksell's theory, Buchanan's theory, and Arrow's theory. In this chapter, we have to study different theories regarding public choice. First, we have to study Wicksell's approach to reveal public choice, or absolute and relative unanimity principle approach. Actually, Wicksell was a Swedish economist. His full name was Knut Wicksell. He discussed in first time problems in revealing preference. We cannot exhibit our preference to others. His ideas are divided into absolute unanimity approach and relative unanimity approach. His theory divided into absolute unanimity approach and relative unanimity approach. The efficient allocation of resources in the society require political process. Even in democratic form of government, individual preference of people for public goods are taken into consideration is difficult. Individual preferences are considered by voting, that is majority voting. Minority voters are termed as political losers, or majority voting or voter externality cost. Suppose a government is going to start a new hospital in our area. Firstly, they will call for a meeting. Is it necessary one or not? Majority will support, but some cases some people will not support this. So in that cases they are called losers. Their votes are called losers. And majority voting is taking into consider to take determination of the public goods. According to Wicksell, in a democratic form of government, country or absolute unanimity method can be used for revealing public preference for public goods by people. The provision of supply of public goods can be made by government in public budget, and by supplying it to the people can achieve social welfare maximization. But for this 100%, people should cast their vote in favor of supply of public goods by government. If one of them is against the supply of the public goods, then government cannot take decision and provide the public goods. This is known as absolute unanimity approach. So absolute unanimity approach means government asks our preference. If 100% support, government will consider. If any people will not support, then government is very difficult to take decision. That is absolute unanimity approach. Then Wicksell propounded an alternative approach for the supply of public goods by government, which is known as relative unanimity approach or qualified majority voting. A majority of 1 by 3 or 2 by 3 or 3 by 4 or 5 by 6 might be required for approval of a budget policy under unanimity rule. This rule allows an acceptance number of collective decisions to be made. It also facilitates to reduce voter externality cost. This principle enables spending and revenue decision making for the government. According to him, marginal benefit from public expenditure should be related to marginal tax cost. So in the relative unanimity approach means government will consider if 1 by 3 of the people will support, or 2 by 3 of the people will support, or 3 by 4 of the people will be support, then government will consider their decision. That is relative unanimity approach. So according to Wicksell, marginal benefit from the public expenditure should be related to marginal tax cost. Government spending their money as per the government revenue. There are so many criticism for the theory of Wicksell. That is, in a democratic country, first it is decided which and how much quantity of public goods to be provided. His theory is criticized by the first point as in a democratic country like India, firstly we will decide which item and how much quantity of the item or public goods to be provided, and then they are supplied to the people. Government will not consider unanimity approach or relative unanimity or absolute unanimity. Then government cannot impose tax on people in proportion to the public expenditure. Actually government is spending so many fund. So government cannot impose tax as per the government expenditure. Then in reality, government does not take into consideration public choice for the supply of public goods to people. Actually, in reality, government will not consider absolute theory or relative theory to provide public goods. These are the concept of the Knut Wicksell's theory. Okay. Okay, thank you.